So one of the first sub areas in biological trait theory we're going to tackle is biochemical explanations for crime. So you may have heard the term a chemical imbalance, where the brain functioning is not normal, it's impaired in some way. This looks at the link between our diet, our hormones, vitamin intake, and nutrition, and its connection to criminology. So what is key here are healthy diets. So in communities where you see food deserts or a lack of access to clean and healthy foods might also explain why you see more crimes in those communities than you do communities that are more affluent, like Farmington Hills or West Bloomfield, Birmingham, or, upper middle class communities, because these people have access to healthier foods. So there is some supportive evidence of this link between our diet, our nutrition, and also food allergies and how that connects to crime. So you're going to see me kind of glancing to the right every now and again because I want to make sure I'm covering everything that's on your slide so you don't have any questions. So the first is hypoglycemia. There is, in fact, a connection between blood sugar levels and impulsivity. So when you have low blood sugar, it can cause an imbalance in the brain, which might make a person act out impulsively or be more inclined to have a violent outburst. For those of you that are fans of the film Steel Magnolias, you probably remember that very pivotal scene between Julia Roberts' character and her mother, played by Sally Fields, when they were at the hair salon. And Julia Roberts' character, who was a type 1 diabetic, started going into a diabetic crisis. And she started acting out and striking out and cursing and becoming very aggressive. Her mother immediately knew what that was and got orange juice to her and started forcing her to drink it. And then she was able to calm down and get in better control of her impulses. And she was very ashamed of her behavior, but at that time, she had no control over it. The second one is hormonal. So androgens, testosterone, has been linked to aggression in males, but it also works in females through premenstrual syndrome, PMS, as it's called, when women's hormones at the time of their monthly cycle might make them more aggressive and moody and irritable, and in some cases violent. And then there are environmental contaminants like lead poisoning, which has been linked to, has been a strong predictor of delinquency in young people and violent crime in adults. There are actually people that have been incarcerated for violent crimes that have ingested lead in their homes through lead paint or what have you, as children living in substandard housing where they were exposed to lead. This is one of my concerns about the children growing up in Flint with this water crisis. They say there are about 10,000 children that have been impacted by the poisoned water in Flint. And already these kids are starting to show mental decompensation. Their learning is being impacted. They're not able to understand or comprehend. Some of them are becoming reading challenged. And these are kids that have done very well in school, but now they're starting to see this regression in these kids. So that's a very frightening possibility as we move forward, trying to understand the impact of the water crisis on the children in particular living in Flint. And then a lack of proper nutrition contributes to antisocial behavior like ADHD, depression, and even schizophrenia. So kids that have ADHD, doctors have advised parents to watch their diet. Sometimes too much sugar can be bad for kids that have ADHD. Sometimes ADHD is linked to oppositional defiance disorder, ODD, which is where kids defy authority and they're very aggressive and sometimes engage in bullying type of behaviors. So this is what we mean by biochemical explanations for crime as it links to biological trait theory.